And first pitch, tip-off, kickoff, face-off. It's the No Show Sportscast. I'm Matt Klein. The Vancouver Canucks lose to the Dallas Stars Thursday night. They're able to take one from Nashville on Tuesday, but splitting this into a semi-successful road trip so far. The Vancouver Canucks have been rolling, of course, getting a point in an overtime loss to Dallas. Hey, it's a good team. They're a good team. We understand that. But so are the Canucks. And this is one of those games where it's going to go either way. We don't know what's going to happen. We can only hope and expect the best. The game-winning overtime. It was a breakaway. Matt Duchene didn't know he was on the Dallas Stars. Apparently that guy, he gets around quite a bit. But Matt Duchene is able to score on the breakaway. My goodness, it was a very excellent chance for the Canucks to score because they had a 2-on-0. Oh man, it was very unfortunate to see that because the Canucks, they had their head spinning because Dallas was able to find ways to just get all over them in that overtime frame, but they weren't able to score. Demko with some good defensive plays. Obviously, you need that because it was kind of Dallas dominated that game mostly, I would say. The Canucks, they did not have a whole lot of shots. They did not have a whole lot of action in their offensive opportunities. They just were seldom. They were not existent. But taking the lead late and then losing it, giving it up again, you could say it was a blown lead, another blown lead by the Canucks. I wouldn't say that there has been a large amount of blown leads because the Canucks have been pretty good at that. They've been good at getting empty netters. Just like we saw in Nashville, they were not allowing them to crawl back into it. And Nashville is they're an interesting team. And Nashville was not showing signs of any sort of intimidation. The Canucks were able to roll past them. But Dallas, a good team, and we thought that they were going to win. They had an excellent chance, but hey, they get a point. They're still climbing up there. Vegas loses to Tampa. Awesome stuff. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And now it looks like the Western Conference, the Pacific Division, all of that is up for grabs because Vegas has been struggling. They haven't been able to really find their groove. I mean, they had a great start, but it hasn't been the same. And Matt Duchene, the game winner, this guy, I didn't know that he was, still relevant. I remember a long time ago when he was just a youngster playing for Colorado, I thought he would have had a really great career if he stayed with them, but it just didn't look like that. It didn't look like that at all. And he goes to Columbus, Ottawa, a bunch of different teams. And he had his best season actually in 2021, 2022. And he's able to score 43 goals and get 43 assists that year and then completely disappear. I mean, the guy is... You didn't really know. I don't think Dallas knew what they were going to get. And Dallas is just a team very much like that. They go to the Stanley Cup final in 2020 thinking that they can actually contend with Tampa, thinking that they are also a team that should be taken seriously. And I suppose you could take them seriously as a contender, but they're the Hurricanes of the Western Conference. They just aren't anything more than a good regular season record. And there's a lot of teams in this boat. There's a lot of teams in the Nashville boat as well. Are they good? Are they bad? Are they sinking? Are they retooling? I mean, they're not contenders, Nashville, but Dallas certainly is one of those teams that shows the signs of life. I remember Tyler Seguin and Jamie Benn. Those guys used to be juggernauts for the Stars. You used to want those guys on your team. And you used to shake your heads wondering, how did Boston let this Seguin guy go? It's those were the fairy tale days. Those days don't exist anymore. You can't win the Art Ross by only accumulating 87 points. You just can't do that. But Jamie Benn did. He found a way long time ago in a place that just doesn't exist anymore. You have to have 150 like McDavid now. You got to show those kinds of signs of life. That offensive prowess that you can just not compare to back then. And if anything, the Stars were better then, but they have more, I suppose, young guns, more pieces, Ottinger. The Canucks were facing Scott Wedgwood. And they weren't even able to put him on his back because they weren't able to get any shots towards him at all. I mean, that is the rough part of all of this. They just couldn't get shots. It's like you have a great chance because Ottinger isn't playing. So you get Scotty Wedge, the old man who's traveling here and there, rather than a Vezina candidate, or at least a narratively accurate Vezina candidate. We all love our narratives. We all love to pretend and hype up teams. But I like to see the young guns of Vancouver doing a whole lot better than the old heads of Dallas. Those guys just don't got it anymore. Dakota Joshua and that whole entire bottom six. The Canucks bottom six might be the best in the league. I mean, my goodness, that Dakota, Joshua. This guy is just bringing that energy. My goodness. A goal and an assist. Oh, that Garland, man. Darius Garland. That guy's just a workhorse. There was a lot of talk that he was going to get traded, and I don't even know if he was like looking for trades or if he was trying to get opportunities elsewhere. But I think if he can string together a great season, he can be valuable. And I don't know if the Canucks are going to pay him, but hopefully they do. Because they're going to need him for as much and for as long as possible. Just hold on to this guy. Hold on to these scrappy bottom six guys. Dakota Joshua has 8 goals. And he's the tough guy. He's the enforcer. He's the guy who's shoving people around. Looking out for little Darius. I'm calling him Darius Garland. Connor! This is not the NBA. I wonder if would Darius Garland be the first overall pick if we were to redo the 2019 draft? Because I think he might be. I think he might actually. It's very possible that he's the guy. He's the best of the 2019 NBA draft class. But anyway, back to the Canucks. Niels Amon, Teddy Bluger. Teddy. Who is this guy? Where did he come from? And where do we get more? Where do we get more? But you got to have a great bottom six. You got to have, and Vegas, I think, learned that last year when they won the Cup. Tampa Bay, their entire Stanley Cup runs were founded on their bottom six. Blake Coleman, Yanni Gourde, Tyler Johnson, Barclay Goodrow. Ring any bells? Recognize those fellas? Maybe they're not doing it anymore, but those were the good old days. And then, completely lose that third line and much of their fourth line too. And now Tampa's they're still contenders, I think. They're still going to scrap their way into the playoffs and just annoy the heck out of one of these teams. I mean, which team is going to have the unfortunate pleasure of playing Tampa in the first round? They're going to make the playoffs. I'm really very sure of it. But we've got a very interesting thing happened in Tampa Bay. So they were down 2-0, and then they scored 4 straight in the second period, and then they gave up 2 more because that's the kind of team they are. But hey, Vegas, okay, pump the brakes. Vegas is a good team. They are the top dog. The defending champs, probably still the favorites. I don't know, maybe. But both of their goalies have been injured. Logan Thompson and now Aiden Hill. Both of these guys are out. Both of these guys don't know where they are. But Vasilevsky, in the dying seconds, so Nick Paul scores in the final, a minute 13 left to go in the game, and Tampa Bay is up 5-4, okay? And then Vegas is just pounding hard. They are going all the way in. The puck does not leave the offensive zone. They are getting it right in there, almost trying to push that thing past the line, almost get it through. So Vasilevsky, he makes a huge save, like right on the goal line, laterally, trying to push that thing in, but he stops it, stonewalls him, 9 seconds left, okay? That's a timely save. Very, very timely save. With 9 seconds to go, Vegas wins the faceoff, and then they get another huge chance. From 9 all the way down to 3, they have 6 seconds, and they make the most of it, and it trickles through Vasilevsky, and it almost goes out the other side. Like it was right on the goal line, and he has to fall back and jump on it to stop it from going in. And there's another stop right there. That could have been 2 goals right there. And these are the kind of stats. So it's like you can't account for how difficult saves are. All you can see is, oh, he stopped 32 of 36. He allowed 4 goals. Must have been a bad performance on his part. They barely win. Vasilevsky played terrible. This isn't just about Vasilevsky. This is about numerical evaluation of goaltending performance. He made 2 ridiculously hard saves, and the timing and how important and significant those saves were when they happened in the game. The 1951 minute mark and the 1957 minute mark. So let's just remember that. And I don't cover every hockey team, and I don't know how hard some of these saves are. We just see the save percentage, and that's just how it is. But as far as evaluation goes, and just almost what we remember, what we take home, what we take to the bank, what we remember, it's one of those things that's just, hey, let's just stay away from the numbers for a bit, okay? Let's just trust our guys. Let's just trust our goaltending. Let's just remember the moments instead of just think that the numbers are going to justify everything. But, of course, football, hey? TNF, the penultimate TNF installation for the great Al Michaels in the 79th year of his dawning twilight. He gets the pleasure of the New Orleans Saints and Los Angeles Rams. Woo! Yeah, this one came all the way down to the wire. All the way down to the end. Cam Jordan, what are you doing, man? I thought you were supposed to be a veteran. I thought you were supposed to be worth interrupting my podcast. I'm trying to listen to a podcast, and all I'm getting is your ads for your podcast. Man, players and their podcasts, hey. 164 receiving yards for Puka Nacua, so that's what he finishes with. But Cooper Kupp just could not catch anything. It was just a distract. It was not looking great for Kupp. But you got DeMarcus Robinson going all over the place. You got Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua, all right? So he's doing his thing. And the Rams seem to be bulldozing right through the Saints. And the Saints, they get a couple touchdowns at the end. But Derek Carr just still keeping that midseason form going and throwing interceptions, this guy. But the Saints are just not – they're in such a weird situation. I still can't believe they have 7 wins. Like, how did that happen? How's that team have 7 wins? But, hey, just keep doing your thing. Keep motoring along. Try and get some draft capital and some space because the Saints are just going in a whirlpool right now. They're just circulating, not exactly going anywhere. So I can't help you. Sorry. But it wasn't too bad of a game, obviously. The Rams, I mean, last year I was extremely surprised that they weren't as good as their Super Bowl, defending. They didn't do a great job with Super Bowl defending at all. I was kind of surprised. I thought that they were going to be good. I thought their defense was going to be great. But that just is not the case. And then injuries of Kupp, Stafford, and then Donald. Those 3 guys, the core, you need them. You need them all the time. And you need them to be playing great all the time. Cooper Kupp is turning into an injury-prone player. Stafford, I don't know. He had that elbow issue, but it hasn't seemed to be bothering him. He's been playing great, and the Rams are chugging along, and they'll probably play the playoffs. Let's see. They're slated to play Detroit right now. Or the Cowboys, one of those 2 teams. We'll see, right? It's going to be exciting. Everything is just gridlocked. Top of the morning. Nathan Rourke to the Patriots. Woo! Nate, boy. I'm going to get you on the show. Don't worry. We're going to be chatting with you very soon, my man. We're going to be getting you the no-show full experience. Just talk to your boy Michael O'Connor. He knows. So we're going to be getting you on shortly. Hey, the Patriots now officially do not have the worst quarterback room anymore because they got my man Nathan Rourke. They got him on the roster because Bailey Zappi and Mac Jones, those guys should be playing Division III. They should be playing in Australia for all I know, if they can even enunciate the National Football Lega. Yeah, so the Patriots are now They got an excellent weapon. Just give this guy a chance. You do not need to draft a quarterback, okay? Take Marvin Harrison and then make Nathan Rourke the starter. Ooh, and then get that offensive line back and, a couple extra braces on the knees of Matthew Judon and another safety or two, fully healthy Christian Gonzalez, and, slab a couple of defensive linemen together so that they can continue hey, the Patriots have a great defense. They've been playing great, but they just cannot score a lick. So Marvin Harrison, Nathan Rourke, just like old times. I'm telling you, you do not need to go crazy and, rethink the whole quarterback situation. So Nathan Rourke to the Patriots. I saw this really weird Sportsnet article, and it was talking about Belichick, because Belichick's talking about Rourke. Something about our quarterback room is awful. I don't know I don't know which Belichick. He's just, I don't know if he's going to even be coaching Rourke next year. But in terms of his review of Rourke's play, the longtime Patriots coach didn't disappoint. Productive preseason Canada, Belichick said. Ugh, what? Like, I don't even understand a single iota of this. So, go to the Sportsnet website, and it says, in terms of his review, the coach didn't disappoint in Rourke's play. Productive preseason Canada. Productive preseason, Canada. Like, what does that even mean? This is like, okay, no proofreading, lazy reporting. They didn't even source a writer. Sportsnet, what are you doing? This is just ridiculous. It just said Sportsnet staff wrote this thing. Productive preseason Canada. Productive preseason Canada. Belichick said as he waltzed out of the room after finishing his comments on Nathan Rourke, newly acquired QB. Productive preseason Canada. Productive preseason Canada. Productive preseason Canada. Productive preseason. Productive preseason Canada. So that's what he said, apparently. I just don't understand this at all. Okay, whatever, okay? I understand that it's positive, and let's just roll with that, okay? Sounds great. Productive preseason. What are you saying? I don't even believe Belichick said this. This is an indictment on him. You're not even going to tell us who reported this? Sportsnet staff wrote this. Check it out on Thursday. Well, maybe it was Wednesday evening, Thursday morning, whatever. I don't even get this, man. But he's supposed to be impressed with this guy, and he will be, because Nathan Rourke has easily taken the job of those two guys. Bailey Zappi and Mac Jones, see you later. Okay, somebody let Flight Reacts know that you got a new quarterback, because you got to be interested in this guy. You're about to. Okay? This guy is about to make a difference for your team. So put it together. Pull it together, Patriots. And last but not least on the docket, we've got the great Zion Williamson. So just Zion Williamson contract. Looks like there's a way the Pelicans can rid themselves of this guy. They don't have to worry about him anymore. But I do not understand how this works, okay? Now, but before I get into that, Zion, I'm not out to get you, man. I'm not. I enjoyed watching you at Duke. I was interested in I really wanted to see you play. But you just have been a disappointment. There's a lot of empirical evidence to suggest that you're a bust. It's very weird, and it's very different from perhaps maybe I just feel like I got cheated because you've played 137 games in 5 seasons. That's not even 2 full seasons. Nobody plays a lot anymore because they seem to take pride in averaging 63 games a season. And it's just unfortunate that your career has taken this odd turn because of all this just injuries and the questionable doctors in Louisiana and just sitting out time and time again. I don't know what that's about. But this guy, it appears as though New Orleans wants their money back because the Pelicans are not interested in paying you $40 million a year if you're just going to be sitting on the bench for 50 games a season. Yeah. So it looks like out of this deal, if his 6 weight, he's got check marks now. I don't know. I read weight. He has to reach certain weight check marks. He has to meet check marks. He has to meet some sort of criteria to continue. But this is not for this season or next season. It's the season after, beginning in 2025. So they may be able to work out of this deal. It was over $190 million back in July 2022. And this is something that he's going to have to keep an eye on. And you got to have motivation. This is more motivation. This is more, hey, remember you like basketball. Remember you've been paid all this money. Now you have to earn it. But there's no earn it anymore. There's no earn it mentality. So hopefully we can get all of this sorted. Figure it out. Figure it out, Zion, please. Get back to the guy who was thinner and who was dunking all the time, who was exciting to watch, and you wanted to get behind. You wanted to root for this guy. So, we're going to be taking the week off. Be back next Thursday on the No Show Sportscast. That is where we are.